whole life believing that it is stupid. What was your moment when someone judged you like that? When I said Albert Einstein once said if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree it will live its whole life thinking it's stupid, and they said he never said that. Edit, yay I'm that guy big whoop wanna fight about it? Thanks for my first ever gold kind stranger. In school I was too nerdy for the jocks and too jockish for the nerds. Now that we have all grown up I take everyone's money in fantasy football. When I was asked to climb a tree. I'm 6 feet 6 inches, and I suck at basketball. Edit, after rereading my comment, I judge that it came off as I am very smart material a bit. Sorry. Judged my friend for having very naive and dumb knowledge / beliefs about stuff like economics, politics, geography, history, language, culture etc. But she was extremely social and extroverted, while I was this somewhat grumpy guy and sucked at making connections with people, still do. Nowadays, she works at a high position in the marketing department at a very major global tech corporation's office in our country, in Europe. I'm a sysadmin and a half programmer. I ended up studying pol-sci and taking some computer science classes. I wouldn't say my education is bad or that it's a useless degree, just that being able to make friends and influence people is much more important than having a lot of knowledge. When I do my 2 hours of daily piano practice, I begin with 5 octaves of scales in every key, major and minor. My brother got weary of hearing this day after day and said, if you keep playing those scales, you're going to turn into a fish. This was basically my childhood, because I was bad at math. I guess most children goes through this, which is very sad. Only at uni did I realize that I didn't have to be good at everything. I had a professor, who spoke 13 languages, but couldn't count how much 5 plus 4 is. He's the best at his field. I was forced to attend art classes and team sports phys ed in school, mandatory until year 11, art, or 13, respectively. Those two made sure that A, my average was ruined, I can't draw or throw a ball even if my life depended on it, got the grades to match, and B, in my most awkward social phase, I got humiliated regularly by well-meaning teachers who couldn't understand that being good at math and physics does not translate into drawing or predicting a ball's movement, forcing me to do it again, and again, and again, while the whole class enjoyed the show. Hey, you're doing computer science, right? Can you fix my PC? 90% of what Albert Einstein quotes on the internet was not said by Albert Einstein, Internet 2019. I was a ballerina and I always had a hard time picking up choreography. Other dancers could watch a dance once and know it, some could even do it from a video. I needed to be shown a combination a few times, and to go over it a few more, and even then I would forget it the next day. I felt really stupid. Anyway, ballet didn't really work out, and now I have a PhD, so I'm not a complete idiot. This was kind of judging as well as being judged. In my high school guitar class, me and one other girl were both really struggling. I judged her as being bad at music / unskilled / stupid, like me. Thing is, I remember an incident of my teacher, who was very technologically proficient, asking my help with typing something he'd written by hand. He was trying to read it aloud to me, but eventually I just asked him to set it down where I could see it, because it was easier and faster for me to touch type it. He was floored by how fast and how well / correctly I could type that way, and while many, if not most, 16-year-olds probably can now, back then it was a little less usual. Not too long after, like a week I think, the piano in the music room was, for once, left uncovered. That girl who I judged as being a fellow musical idiot sat down and started playing that piano phenomenally. I have a very visceral and vindicating memory of my guitar teacher looking between her, me, the computer, and my hands, and saying, you know, that actually explains a lot. TL, Doctor, I judged myself and a guitar classmate as unskilled idiots, discounting just how great our typing / typing and piano skills were. ETA, so apparently my 80 WPM typing speed might not have become as widespread and normalized as I thought. Till I lived in Argentina, from us, for a little bit as a kid. At a parent-teacher conference early in the school year, one art teacher had to break it to my parents that I might be mentally disabled because I don't respond or participate. They let her know I didn't speak any Spanish, at the time. She had no idea because no one told her and my name is Spanish and it just didn't occur to her. I was the fish trying, and failing, to climb the tree, and my boss called to offer me a position swimming. That time my boss called me to tell me I sucked at my job, but followed it up by telling me I got crazy good comments about this one small part of my job, so would I like to do that full time? Did the new thing for 6 years and used it to land another, even better, position at the same company. Thanks for recognizing my talents, old boss. You were a bit of a shit boss, but when it mattered you really were a help. Edit, since so many are asking, here's actual detail. Moved from software implementation, which had a bit of a teaching component to it, to formally teaching how to use the software. Have since moved into writing the content that is taught. So I'm from India and education system in here used to be really bad. We have special exams known as board exams and those scores can help us get into a better college/uni. The issue here is, our teachers force us to write the exact same way the answers are given as in the textbook, including the punctuation. I know it sounds crazy but it's true, nothing must be skipped. The teachers who must help the students to actually study and understand the concepts, ask us to mug things up BC. All they want is 100% pass percentage and not the proper education. And me on the other hand was terrible at memorizing and remembering stuff if I don't understand the concept in the first place, so I failed some subjects during my monthly tests and for that I was made to feel like I'm stupid and useless, and the only thing I told to myself was this quote. But I got some decent scores at my final exams, thanks to YouTube. Edit, I can't believe that students who are still in high schools are still going through the same shit that I experienced 4 years ago. That's why I wrote used to be. BC, I'm not aware of the current scenario, and trust me, the unis and colleges are just a little better, not that great either, because people around me carry it on from their school life and do the same rote here as well, and people say they're unemployed. I mean, the very reason is right here. How can one survive in a field where you must be an expert, if you don't know / you just memorize the fundamental principles in the first place? Had an English teacher that said any stories I wrote were bad. I thought that I'd done a good job on it, so I showed it to a different English teacher who said it was brilliant but I needed to spell check it. Turns out the first teacher basically didn't read it, just saw the spelling errors. Several years later I got diagnosed with dyslexia. Judged the country kids in my English class for being dumb fucks, until I did an autos class. What I found incomprehensible, they could do with these. I had become the dumb fuck. When I was in the Navy I used to get in fairly frequent trouble for the suggestions I made for improving operational efficiencies. As an outside contractor they were quite happy to pay me $200 an hour to say the exact same thing. I was teased a lot in middle school / early high school for loving hockey. Would constantly get my knowledge tested, my appearance would get brought into it. Why would a fat girl like hockey? Had someone ask me if it was my passion and laugh in my face when I said yes. Jokes on them, I'm an officially credentialed journalist by the NHL now and have personally spoken to more players than they could dream of buying autographs from. The time my middle school art teacher called my parents because she thought I was purposefully mocking her by making my art bad. I literally can't draw beyond a 3rd grade level unless I am copying an object right in front me. My parents basically